Hi everyone, thank you for joining Doc's live webinar exclusively for credit unions. Today's webinar is going to be conducted by myself, Eddie Harrington, and my colleague Heather Crouch. So for today's agenda, I'm going to first describe a brief introduction about Doc and some of our capabilities, and then Heather, one of our Microsoft specialists, will guide you through an informational demonstration on how SharePoint can be leveraged by credit unions to increase productivity and collaboration. After she's completed her demonstration, we'll then open up the session for Q&A. If you think of any questions, please hold them to the end. That way we can answer them effectively, and then we will be sure to answer them promptly. Okay? So, a little bit about Doc first. We're based in Jacksonville, Florida, and we're a Microsoft Gold Certified partner specializing in SharePoint. We've been in business for 17 years now, just shy under 2 decades. We started out building custom SharePoint intranet solutions from the ground up, but we realized that many businesses couldn't wait 6 to 10 months, so we came up with Doc, a pre-built intranet solution that can be deployed within 4 to 6 weeks and still be surprisingly customizable. We've worked with businesses of all sorts to establish an intranet solution built on SharePoint that will help them meet their mission-critical goals. Doc will help your business thrive in the sense of communication and collaboration. You'll empower your team to work together using modern tools that help automate business processes, keep employees informed on the latest news and announcements and promotions going on within your company. You'll be able to share information at your fingertips to employees across the globe in order to increase employee productivity and ensure that your employees stay informed, even when they're on the go. With Doc, you'll also be able to manage your project tasks, your team schedules, and monitor the progress. You'll be able to automate your task assignments and even streamline the monitor process via the creation of workflows. You'll also be able to provide and assign training to all employees and set reminders for employees to participate, create, store, and share training content. You'll be able to generate training reports and even have the ability to search for FAQs. Now, many businesses today don't realize how important collaboration is in the workforce. With today's new generation of leaders and technologies, the marketplace is starting to define itself with the ultra-mechanized sense of collaboration. Employees are becoming more empowered by how much they actually have a say in the business and define their roles in the company and their workplace happiness by how much value they bring to the company. Here at Doc, we've helped businesses create that vision of vibrant and dynamic collaborative innovation. We've utilized out-of-the-box and custom developed features of SharePoint to design this sense of business productivity and connectiveness. We design custom SharePoint intranet solutions that fit your specific business needs to help you stay connected, secure, and competitive within the market, no matter what type of devices you use to reach your workforce goals. Doc has made it its mission to help you increase communication and collaboration throughout the workplace, regardless of location, department, role, or any other barriers that may occur. We've simplified it so that everyone can work together with no problems. Now, as you can see, there are many other value propositions that Doc can bring to your business, but the last key component of Doc is the quick deployment and adoption. Doc provides the quick and efficient turnaround you'd expect from an out-of-the-box solution, but provides the customizable features of a custom-built intranet. Doc being a pre-built intranet solution, deployment time to have the site up and running and creating value for your business usually runs anywhere between 4 and 6 weeks, depending on your specific requirements. The adoption rate skyrockets with Doc as we train our clients on how to use, edit, maintain, and change the site. As a part of our unlimited support, we make sure your employees know how to use the site to the max and ensure that your business productivities will shoot through the roof because the site is so simple to use. As you can see, Doc doesn't just offer the Internet Portal solution, but we have an array of other solutions to help automate your business processes and make your life easier. Outside of our pre-built intranet portal, we have Insta Expense and Insta Project, which are available as web and mobile apps for users to utilize while they're on the go. Insta Expense is a fast and user-friendly way to create, submit, and approve or deny expense reports. And then Insta Project is a web and mobile app we've developed for the project management side of things, and it allows users to update, archive, and monitor projects and tasks. Our HRMS solution allows the HR team to complete all HR functions needed, like onboarding, offboarding, asset tracking, and much more. And then we also offer LMS, CMS, and CRM add-ons as well. Now, that's all my part, and everything that I have to say about Duck and what we do. I'm going to turn it over to Heather now, and she's going to give you a more in-depth demonstration on Microsoft SharePoint and how credit unions can leverage it.
Thanks, Eddie. As you guys are seeing now, this is a live screen. This is a live demo site that we use for credit unions. This site specifically we created for credit unions because we've started to gather a little bit more information from our current credit union clients about specific needs that most credit unions need. So being able to stay compliant with the SAFE Act and other regulations, onboarding and offboarding, some of those specific things that a lot of credit unions we've spoken with have needed, we've added into this site. So this is a live site where everybody will start their day. The site can be completely customized based on your own specific needs, requirements, branding, all of those sorts of things. However you want the site really laid out, we can handle that for you. I've went ahead and pulled up a few different examples of ways you can possibly have the site look and feel. So here's a site. You can have your social media icons, your news and announcements there. Here's another look and feel that we created. It's a little bit different, a little bit more boxy. They wanted to have different sections here. We went ahead and handled that. Here you have the carousel control, everything large, different look and feel for this site. We're going to have a photo gallery, did you know section, some kind of countdown. You can definitely handle that. And here's just another look and feel, the different look for the My Tools. News and announcements looks different, have today's topic, spotlight highlighting your employees. You can also put an Ask CEO or any of the other information that you want really highlighted here on the home site, because this is where all of your employees will really come in and start their day. So right here you have the alerts bar. This will really tell you whenever you have very important information you want your employees to see right away. So for example, if you have office closings, if you have any kind of maintenance going on, you'll be able to have that scrolling across here for you. You can set it up, as you kind of saw briefly on the other sites, by color, to where high priority alerts will be able to be customized in maybe red or something that just really sparks the attention for your employees. And we can also set up this alerts to come to your employees' emails as well. Right here you have the carousel control. This is to really highlight your most important information. If whether you have pictures, videos, you can use it as a news system where you'll have the most important news scrolling across. However you guys really want to do that, we've seen it different ways. You can do that here. The My Tools section. So we saw a lot of businesses and a lot of credit unions are using a lot of outside technologies, whether it be for their policies and procedures or for their HR systems, anything like that. They're using a lot of different resources. And being able to open, they have to just constantly open up different things to access different things. So for example, if you're accessing your onboarding versus accessing your payroll, sometimes it's not all together. So what we did is we created this My Tools section, which is essentially a corporate app store where you can link out all of the different applications that you're currently using. And this section is completely custom based on whichever user's logged in. So for example, we have it grouped out by department. So if you're in HR and you just only want to see these two and you don't need to see IT's tools, you can definitely add or remove them from your queue so that it'll only show up whatever you're looking for. And to be able to add a tool or add a group, which the groups right now are just by department, you just click on it and it'll come up with the side little section here for you to fill out. So it's very simple. We can also set up single sign-on. That way, whenever you log into the site, whenever you set it up, you can log into your tools as well using the same login. So that's definitely a capability there. The upcoming events section, this section here is typically for company-wide events. We can also have events calendars for, within each department or by corporate or however you guys want it set up, by branch, however. You can have different events calendars within those sites as well. But all you would do to download this to your Office 365 calendar is select the download button, and then it'll pull up the event just like this. So over here you have the Let's Celebrate section. So a lot of credit unions that we've worked with so far, and we've worked with quite a few now, have had multiple branches and multiple locations, and they're having an issue with really communicating and collaborating with their team because they're not seeing those people every day. They don't really know the people. They're just constantly having to email them and work with them. So what we did to help solve that issue is we created a Let's Celebrate section, which really just highlights employees for birthdays, anniversaries, new hires, any of that type of information you want to use to highlight your employees. You can do it like that, or you can also have, as I briefly showed on a different screen, where you just have the employee's picture, where you're really spotlighting them for something that they did. It's a good accomplishment. Down here you have the social media. So you can have it multiple ways. So you can have it different icons, or you can have the actual live feeds. So if you have the icons, you can click into it and have the live feeds, or you can have the actual live feeds just like this anywhere on the site. So if you want to see Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, we do also have a Yammer integration if you guys are currently using Yammer. If you're not familiar with Yammer, Yammer is a tool that usually comes with your Office 365 that really helps with communication and collaboration. It's essentially like an internal Facebook where you can create groups and be able to communicate with your team regardless of location, however you want to do that. But we just created the integration for you. That way you can do it directly from the site instead of having to open up Yammer too. Here you have your news and announcements. So the news and announcements is actually pretty cool the way you can feature and unfeature news. So I'll just click into an article here. So, this is a news article you have going on. Once you click in the article, you'll see all of that information, the whole article there. And now you have featured news, which I'll show you how to do that here in just a second. That's basically whenever you have the main news that you want to show up regardless of which article they click on. So something that's really important to your company, like a new branch opening, anything like that, you can feature it and have it pop up here on this right side. So I'll show you very quickly how to actually edit things. So we've made the site very easy to edit and maintain because it is based on SharePoint, and we know a lot of people, just really do not like SharePoint out of the box. It's very hard to edit, very hard to maintain, just really hard to use in general. So we've created these easy capabilities for you to be able to add, edit, delete, of course based on your permission levels, which we can help you set up as well. So right now I'm in an admin view, so I have capability to add and edit anything. So for example, if you want to add a new alert, you'll have this little add a new alert section here, and you'll have this side click up. You'll just go through, enter in all of the information, hit save. And once you save, if that's the only edit you want to make, then you publish the page, and that's it. And so you can do the same thing if adding a new carousel slide, adding a new event. It's the same thing, just different, little information pops up here on the side. You can add new tiles. And so during the deployment, we'll actually help you set up how you want the site to look and feel, color, branding, however you want it to be laid out, all of that information. But if you also have the admin or editing rights, you can come in and make these changes as well. So for example, if you want to, let's just go and change a color of a tile. So this employee directory tile, let's just say I don't want it to be that color. I'm going to change it to a dark blue. So then I do that and save it, and it automatically changed that there for me. But of course, it didn't publish it to everyone else unless I hit publish. So if you want to add news, I'll show you how to do the feature and unfeature. So you can come in, type in the information, the title of the article, select whichever image or video you want associated with it, type in a quick summary that'll show up, down here, as you can see. And then if you want it featured, you'll just toggle that capability on. If you don't, toggle it off. And then when you come in to type in the body, just click on the edit, and it'll come up with the actual, full capability for you to put in your article information. And you can also have published and unpublished dates for news articles, for carousel control, any of those type of things where you would have something automatically published and automatically unpublished on a certain date. So for example, here in the States we have St. Patrick's Day coming up on the 17th. So if you wanted to have something automatically post on the 17th, you can do that. Or you can have it post, the Friday before, just getting everybody ready for the weekend, and have it automatically take down Monday or, the day of, and it'll automatically do that there for you. So that's just a brief explanation of how you can actually edit the site. All of the pages, if you have access to do so, will allow you to go into that same edit mode. So policies and procedures, this is a big thing that we saw with some of the credit unions that we've worked with over the years and here recently. Being able to actually manage your policies and procedures, being able to stay compliant with the SAFE Act and other regulations that you guys have to stay compliant with, being able to have those views to where before you have to present to the board, you can be able to review everything, make sure it looks good, be able to see the version history of all of those policies and procedures, and be able to actually separate them by whether they're a policy or procedure. So right now what we did is we created this tagging capability. So whenever you add a document under here, so let's just say you add a document, we'll select a file. I'm just going to do this test photo. That's going to be my document. And I'm going to entitle it test. And you just put it under a category. So I'm going to say policies, and the tag is going to be, what's a policy tag? Let's just say account access. And I would just save it there. And when I go under account access, that test is going to be there. So it's really easy to be able to find what you're looking for. And I'm actually going to delete it since it's just a test. So whenever you click on the tag over here on the side, you'll be able to find those specific policies and procedures you're looking for. And you can also search by user if a document is associated or added by a user. And you can also search by the date. So we've actually been speaking with some of our current credit union clients about some of the different capabilities and some of the needs that they have with policies and procedures. A lot of them have found this policies and procedures section very beneficial to them to be able to stay organized. This is kind of the view for all of your employees to be able to see, but a lot of them mentioned that they would like to have kind of a back-end view for those who are adding the policies, those who are whoever your compliance manager, someone who's taking care of those things, will be able to see a different view. So right now we're actually in development with that, and it should be ready here, I believe, in a month is what the last update was. So they're coming along pretty well with that. So you'll be able to have the two different views here. So we do also have, and I'm not sure why it's not on this demo site. So let me just pull up the employee directory from a different demo site that we have. So the employee directory, just like the Let's Celebrate section on the home page, is automatically populated from your Azure AD or your Active Directory. So you don't have to go in and enter all this data again. If you already have it there in the Active Directory, it'll be pulled over here for you. So here you can be able to find employees and all of their information based on job title, location, or branch, department. We can create different drop downs for you guys to search, or you can also search here in the search bar for a specific employee. So say I'm searching for Joe, he will automatically pull up just from that search. Now the employee directory here can be also customized based on your needs. So if I go into the edit mode and I go over here to edit the web part, I'll be able to change the different views that I want showing here. So for example, this is the text only view. You can have a very detailed view. You can have a list view. You can also have photo only view. However you guys really want that set up. And then as you go along, you can select which fields you want shown here. Exclude employees if they don't have specific fields. So like if they don't have an email address, see how it automatically repopulated that information for me. You can include employees with only certain extensions. That way you exclude all personal emails and all external users who you would like to share the site with. This is way you only can see your specific employees. So let's see. Can the employee directory be retrieved from ADP? ADP, I think they do have an API, to be able to do that. That's not something that's already built in, but we have done that with multiple clients already. So definitely a capability for sure. You can integrate the employee handbook anywhere into the site, but we typically see, that a lot of companies want it here on the home page just for easy access. So right here, we just took a PDF, entered it into the page. It's just nice and clean. The, employee handbook has its own site. Just, very easy for employees to be able to find what they're looking for. You can also search the site for specific areas of the employee handbook that you're looking for, like a different section or a certain page. If you guys have multiple pages, you can definitely search that as well. So the department sites, with our enterprise solution, we offer unlimited department sites. So we've created a few sites here just for the webinar purpose or for credit union purpose based on what we've seen with some other credit unions. So these are just examples of department sites that we have seen over and over again. So I'll go into one of these department sites just to kind of show you how the site will pretty much look and feel. You can, of course, customize this site as well. Each department can have their own look and feel. They can have it moved around however they want, their own colors. But we typically recommend having some sort of, standard, some sort of, trying to stay, what's the word I'm looking for, consistent with some of the other different departments. So here you can see this accounting department has their own upcoming events, their own specific alerts. Here we have an integration with Yammer. So, you can have your what's going on here within your own specific accounting team. You can add quick downloads. If you have important documents or information like loan references you need referred to a lot, you can have that linked out here. When we showed the policies and procedure capability with the tagging, we've actually utilized that because we've seen a lot of people want that for just their document management as well. So what we did is we created the capability to do that anywhere within the site. So within the accounting site, you can have, however many number of tags you want, named whatever you want as well. So we just created these for example. So if you want to go in checking and savings, you would just click on that tag and it'll come up with those specific documents pertaining to it. Same thing with user search and date, you can do that too. So for the document side of things, you do have document management and regular SharePoint libraries. So you can view things however you want it to look and feel. You can create folders. If you're managing marketing materials, digital assets, or anything like that, you can go into a tile view where you can see just the photos and all that information there for you. But I just pulled up just a random document library just for example. So a lot of credit unions we worked with have multiple branches, as I mentioned before. So you can have your own site for each branch. Everyone will still log into this home page as you're all associated, but each branch can have their own information page. So we'll go into Beach and 9A example site. So here, this is located in Jacksonville, Florida, which is where we are located. You can kind of see a map here of what's going on, what's around this location. If you need to go and visit that location, you can see if there's any hotels nearby. It just really has a basic overview for you, and you can have different views there as well. You also have a little Meet the Team section, so whenever you're clicking into that branch, you'll have some main employee information. That way you'll just be able to see who's in charge of that branch and all that information there. They also have a document control center here where you can search for your documents, main documents for that specific location. You guys can set up the permission levels however you want. So what we've seen with a lot of credit unions is there's a lot of confidential information. So you don't want everyone to have access to every page. So if there's certain documents or certain pages you want to restrict access to, you can definitely do that, and we can help you with that during the deployment as well. That's just basic SharePoint permissions and SharePoint groups. But if you guys aren't familiar with how to do that, we can definitely help you with it. Yes, I will be sending over a recording of this webinar. I do encourage everyone to stick around as we'll have a question and answer. That way we can get everything answered for you guys. But we'll be sending a recording. That way if you want to share it with your team, we'll definitely be able to do that. All right, so we have also seen, with a lot of credit unions, you have corporate. So we have corporate locations, corporate human resources center, marketing, other different areas. So you can separate it however you want it to look and feel. But we've seen a lot of credit unions we're working with want to have corporate as their own little drop down. They have their own sites. Only corporate has access to those sites. If that's how you guys want it to do. So we'll come into human resources, for example. So this is the Human Resource Center for corporate. Of course, it can still be customized based on your look and feel, whichever tiles, wherever you want the tiles to link out to, what different functionalities you want shown, you can definitely do that. For HR, we actually are finishing up a full-blown HR managed solution, HRMS. It's almost ready. It has a full onboarding and offboarding solution. And we've used some of the functionalities and some of the needs and requirements from multiple credit unions we've spoken with to be able to develop that. We've taken that into consideration in the development. It also has performance management, asset management, all of that information that's coming up soon. If you guys want to look at that, we can definitely schedule a call, and go into that anytime. So a lot of credit unions that we've worked with so far and over the years have a need for some kind of LMS or training, be able to train employees on how to stay compliant, how each department works, or just any typical onboarding training, anything like that. So we do have a training portal built into the solution. Right now we're actually coming up with some updates on the training solution, which will be available here in a month or two. And this will just make the look and feel a little bit less SharePoint-like, but it still has some of the similar functionalities plus more. So if you guys want to look at that, of course, we can do that on a different call, but it is not actually complete yet. That's still in the works. So as you can see here on the page, you can search by location, training type, any different skills, by department, however you guys want these little scrolling areas to look, we can do that for you. So this is the training dashboard. So you'll be able to see, here's one training, here's another training, how many points are associated with it. So what we did is we created a point system over here, you can see, for you guys to use if you'd like. We encourage people to use it that way. You can encourage your employees to come in and take the training, be involved, make sure that they're actually taking the training courses that they need to, and you can incentivize them by rewarding points, and those points can equal, a day off or whatever you guys want to use to incentivize them to take these trainings. So over here you can see your upcoming trainings, the trainings you've completed if you click on that, and go into that training. So we'll go into a training just to be able to see all of the content information related to that and how that really works. So once you click into a training, you'll be able to see the same overview that you saw there. So this little overview here. Once you scroll down, this is where all of the content will be. So We have a carousel here with different videos, different news articles, anything that you really need your employees to come in and watch or read, you can have that here. Can also link out quick downloads or links to websites if you have different external things that you need them to read or be a part of. You can link that out here in its own section. And then you can also quiz your employees. So for example, I'm just going to click some random answers just to get feedback here. Once I submit the quiz, I'll be able to see which ones I got right and wrong. So I didn't do too bad for just guessing. But then you can be able to generate a report. So let's see, Joe took it. Last time Joe took it was today, and he did not attend. Or actually, if I refresh the page, it should have the score report up there. So it should say I attended, and it should also have the score report there. The training manager will also be notified and will be able to see the report. Maybe it just takes a minute. I don't know. But it should be there under the score report, that information. So that's a basic overview of Doc Intranet that we've utilized for credit unions. We do have some add-on solutions that a lot of credit unions have found a need for. We have contract management, project management, and Insta Expense. So I'll just briefly pull those up. I'm not going to go too much into depth with them today. If you guys want to go further into depth with any of these, it looks like Eddie just dropped my email address in the chat, so you guys can email me at any time if you want to set up a call and look at anything, or if you have any other questions we're unable to answer today, we can definitely set up a call and go into that for sure. So this is the contract management homepage. This basically gives you a monetary update, contracts expiring soon, just basic overview information, contracts by type, contracts by stage. Here you have the contract list, which really has all of the information about the contract. You can add contracts or filter them out by any of these categories. Once you click into the contract, you have all the details. You can associate contracts with other contracts, like if you have a master service agreement or anything like that, you need to associate it, you can do that. Right now we're completing a workflow capability where you can actually set up any kind of workflow within the contract management solution. So if you guys want to go in further to that, we can do that. Documents, notes, related contracts, the history of the contract, all of that information is there as well. We do also have a similar capability for vendors, and you also have vendor ratings, all of that information within a vendor once you click on them, and then reports generated by Power BI. So highly interactive reports generated by Power BI, where you can be able to click around on data and be able to have it automatically populate and change that information for you. So that's a brief overview of contract management. This is a project management dashboard. You'll be able to see all of the number of active projects, your active tasks, the number of new tasks. Here's your specific task list. Whoever's logged in will be seeing their own. See the status of them, the date. Notifications, there's a section to be able to notify people within tasks and within specific projects as a whole. And those notifications, if you tag someone, like basically if you hit the @ symbol and start typing their name, they'll be able to see that here. Once you go into a project, or the projects tab here, you'll be able to see the project list. So you'll basically see an overview of the projects. You can include and exclude archive projects. You can filter, and once you come into the project, this is where you have the project tasks. There are different views for this: board view, calendar view, various different views, so we won't go into it today, but there is also the Power BI reporting for projects as well. You have an Insta Expense application that is built on Power Apps. So we have a mobile application, and we also have a web version of this Insta Expense app. So employees can come in and submit expenses, be able to search for whoever's selecting it, add an expense, be able to enter in all the information, add photos for receipts. They can take the photo or add it from their library if they've already taken the photo, and be able to submit that expense to certain people. And that way, you can set up a workflow. That way, it'll go to a specific manager, HR, whoever for approval directly from here. So, I mean, that's just a basic overview. We didn't go into everything today, but we went over some of the things that we saw over and over with a bunch of credit unions that we've currently worked with and currently spoken with. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. I'm going to turn it over to Eddie. He's going to pull up the contact information page. That way you guys will also have that if you want to set up a call. Or if you'd like to go ahead and look at any of the other solutions that we briefly mentioned, Eddie mentioned in the beginning, you can contact us, or if you want to talk about the intranet further, feel free to contact us as well.
Perfect. Thanks, Heather. You did a great job. All right, as I said, guys, here is the contact information for Heather. It's in the chat, but it's also here displayed on the screen as soon as it wants to, do its deal. If you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out in the chat so we can talk a little bit more and get the conversation going. And that way we can talk a little bit more.
All right, if there are no further questions, we're going to go ahead and drop the call. If you guys think of any questions, please feel free to email me. Email address is on the screen and in the chat. Hope everyone has a great day.